Hi, my name is Kelli Sharp Downing, and my story begins on the date of September 11th, 2001. When I woke up, I already had a bad gut feeling, like I already knew it would later happen that day. I woke up early, so I got to work early. I left my house about 8 o'clock and got there at 8:30. I worked at the 2 Chase Plaza, which was only 2 blocks from the Twin Towers. Now, instead of getting into work early and getting out earlier, I decided to enjoy the nice weather. It was very nice that morning, cool breeze and beautiful blue sky. And then I wasn't supposed to be until 9, so I stayed there from 8:30 to 9. And at 8:46, bam, the first plane had hit. I saw it go in, and then next thing I hear is screams, and I see the security guard run out from my plaza and grab as many hands as he can. I was one of the people he pushed inside. At that point, I really didn't know what to do with myself, so I went up to my desk and I typed a 2-line email to my best friend, Emery Miller, and basically said, I don't know what's going on, I'm very scared, and I don't know what to do. And then the panic started to set in. I wanted to get out of that building and just go as far away as I could. So that's what I tried to do. I wanted to get out of the building, I wanted to get out now. So I went downstairs and I tried to push my way out with a lot of other people. But they had security guards blocking the door, not letting anyone out. All the other doors were locked as well. So there was a group of 4 people just there talking with each other, crying, and I went with them and I just asked them, what are you guys doing? Are you guys looking to get out? And they're like, yeah, we're trying to get out. So we sat there as a group for maybe 20 minutes and we were all thinking of how to get out. And then we realized, well, we're in New York City and there are tons of underground passageways and tunnels. So we found the nearest one, which was actually inside our plaza. And we went down, and we walked maybe 1/4 of a mile. And I remember I saw the door, and I was so happy, and I tried to open it, but it was locked. And the walk back was one of the longest walks I've ever taken in my life. A lot of people have said that they've had their life flash before their eyes before, but that really happened to me. I had 8x10 pictures of my kids going past my eyes for about 30 seconds. Once I got back inside the building, I thought about my kids again, and I thought I needed to contact them. And they were in school, but all the service was down, all the power was down, so there was no way I was able to contact them. Then the first building had gone down, and I remember I could hear the screams from outside, but I couldn't see anything because there was ash blocking all the windows. So me and my group, we stayed together a little bit longer, and then after a little bit we tried to go out. We found an emergency exit and we made it out. And after being trapped inside the 2 Chase Plaza for 2 hours, I was very happy to get outside, but then I was also very emotionally unstable. And when I got outside, there was still ash flying everywhere, and I smelled the worst thing I could ever smell in my life. I smelled flesh everywhere. Everywhere you stepped, everywhere you looked, there was some kind of flesh. So I'm still with my group of 4 right now, and we just kind of started to make our way through through New York, and we were going to Brooklyn with tens of thousands of other people. So we went there, and we made it over the Brooklyn Bridge, and that was a real first point. I felt like I had some type of safety. We ended up walking to a restaurant, and it wasn't like a sports bar, but it wasn't like a nice sit-down restaurant. It had a few TVs, but the workers weren't working, and everyone's eyes were glued to the TV. I was watching live when we found out it was a terrorist attack, and I wasn't happy that we knew who had done it, because I'm in New York City, and I don't know if the terrorists are done or if they're just getting started. And now I know that there could be many terrorists in my city with me. So that was another type of panic that came into me, is anything else going to happen? Then I tried to call my daughter again, who was in school that day, and I finally got through. I picked up my daughter, and me and my daughter walked home that day. After I got home, we did nothing for the next 6 weeks. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. I mean that we didn't leave our house for 6 weeks for anything, no purposes. And during those 6 weeks, I ended up losing 40 pounds. once we started to go outside, every time I would see a plane in the sky, for the next 2 years, this isn't a couple months, this is the next 2 years, I thought I was just going to drop from the sky immediately and crash into something, anything. After that, I moved back to Arizona. I moved back a few months after I got out of my house. Now, a lot of people have asked me, will I ever fly again? Well, yes, I did fly back to Arizona. But I would prefer to drive if it's possible. A lot of people have asked me, how do you feel about skyscrapers now? If you were ever offered a job in a skyscraper, would you take it? No. No. I would say no before they even finish asking the question. And now it's just instincts to me that whenever I walk in someplace, even if it's one story, I always know my A exit, my B exit, and my C exit. If there's something that happens, I can get out of A. If A fails, I can get out of B. And if those two fail, I can still get out of C and make it okay. Now, the 10th anniversary of 9/11 just now passed, and that was a very emotional day for me. When I woke up, the first hour was just silent, emotional prayer for everyone that lost their lives that day. And then the rest of the day, it wasn't like a party, but I did celebrate for all the people that made it out alive from New York, including me. And I was very grateful that day. Now I have 3 kids, 1 daughter and 2 sons. The 2 sons are both in the military, and my daughter works and now has her own son, and her husband plays in the NFL. So those 11 hours of my life were the most horrific hours of my life again, and I hope that no one ever has to experience like I did.